Hey guys, and welcome to another design process video. Now, before starting any design project, I would always recommend having a kickoff call with the client. Now, typically when I start a design project, I will start with the design brief and I will go through the design brief to understand everything about the project. But one of the most important things you can do is get on a call with your client and encourage them to talk about their project in their own words. This can be really spontaneous and it can trigger awesome ideas which you can base your design on. So for my current project, I have started with phase 1 of my design project, which includes the kickoff call. Now in this video, I'm going to be showcasing the kickoff call I had with my client for the project I am currently working on. So if you're interested to see how I started the kickoff call, how to talk to a client, and how to encourage them to talk about their project, sit back and enjoy the kickoff call I had with my client. So let's get into it. All right then, well, let's start. Well, welcome to this call. Welcome to this
G'day,
kickoff.
Gareth.
Welcome to this kickoff call, okay?
Lovely to be here.
Welcome. So really, what we're going to do is this is a kickoff call. This is something I normally do with all my clients, and the goal of this call is just to chat about the project. Now, you've sent me the brief. Thanks for that. We got the brief, and I've looked through the brief, and I've had a good old rummage through that, and I've got some questions and some things to talk about. So the goal of this call is just to have a little conversation. You never know what it's like. We could have some ideas and some things that could trigger some potential creative solutions for you. So, but before that, just like in your own words, just tell me, why is it that you create videos? Why JaWoodle?
Man, I'm never good at talking about myself, so I'm always bad at job interviews. That's actually why I have to be a YouTuber. I fail at job interviews, so I made videos online instead. Content creation was just always a passion. I did it for fun since I was like 18, just not very successfully. And then eventually I just kept refining the process of making videos and showcasing parts of me that I wanted to put on display. It's a good thing about filming yourself is you can choose what aspects of your persona you can put on display for everyone else and hide away all the not so good stuff. You never know what I do in private. Just started making videos and getting better at it until eventually I found some people's eyeballs and they liked what I do, and the more that kicked off, the more enjoyment I got out of it, and now I do it every day. It's the best.
It's fun stuff, mate. So why JaWoodle then? What the name JaWoodle? Where did that come from?
I get comments about that every day. People want to know. People want to know what it is.
Did you just make it up, or was it something that has any meaning or story behind it? Or
it's about as close to a nickname without being an actual nickname. Someone called me at once when they were rather inebriated, and I thought it sounded funny, so I decided to lock that in forever.
Okie dokie. So on the brief, and obviously it's very clear, it's very apparent that you use like your purple and black, right?
No, ignore all of this. No, there's nothing to see here.
Why purple and black? Just out of curiosity, why?
I don't even know why I like purple.
You don't have to have reasons. Look, you don't have to have reasons for everything. I mean,
I should have reasons my entire life. Everything is purple and black.
Whatever we do is going to be purple and black. But I just need to know. It's good to know.
I wish I had some deep and profound, like, physiological reason about why I like purple, but it just suits me. It feels comforting to look at purple things, and black contrasts that nicely. So
it's a cool
purple and black.
It's a cool combination. I like it. It's quite slick, and we can definitely work with that. So this is a project for your logo design, right? Because you've got a current identity, but we're gonna pimp your ride, basically, aren't we? That's the goal of this. We're gonna pimp your YouTube ride.
Oh no, you're gonna go full exhibit. I heard you like purple. Let's put purple on your purple.
Let's just stick chrome all over it.
Let's do it. I'm in.
So yeah, I mean, I've had some initial ideas, but which we'll have a little chat about. I mean, normally what I do is I roll out a complete process, which normally takes about 5 days. But you know, it's when you look at the brief and you have chats like this, ideas can sometimes emerge. And I've already looked at your product, and you know, things have come to me. But I'm just curious, like, you know your product the best. Like, do you have any ideas? Like, have you had any thoughts? Are there any ideas that you've had that you thought would be cool for a logo design or whatever?
So like the logo I have now, the typeface I have now, with like that angular J and W and stuff like that goes through it. I made that when I first made the channel. I like sketched out that. Admittedly, it was way worse back then, but it's gone through some iterations. So like holding on to that kind of aesthetic, I would like to hold on to some design notes of that kind of fonts, because it's like the original font that I made for the channel, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, what we can do is we can take it and just build upon your brand. So it's not a complete redesign. It's more of like a refresh, slight, you know, build. So, you know, you've already got quite a smooth aesthetic with your black and your purple and the font and the typeface. So what I'll do is I'll just take it and I can just like remix it and just, you know, we could just see how we can take it forward.
Yes.
Like I said, I'll be rolling out a process, but having looked at your initial product, there were some things that stood out to me. And, you know, like in the brief, for example, you know, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of chat. Okay. You talk a lot. It's all about dialogue. It's all about that communication. And, you know, I was thinking, like, I was looking at some of your merch, and one of your merches was a mouth, tongue kiwi, licking a kiwi, right? Now, I was thinking, what if I'm thinking speech bubbles, like dialogue? It's gonna feel like talkative, right? So like a mouth, like a talking mouth, like, you know.
I can't believe you brought up the stupid kiwi licking bird.
But it was funny because I was thinking about a mouth, like what if you had like a big, really bold graphic mouth with a speech bubble that said JaWoodle? Because everything that you do on your channel, you're always talking, you're always communicating, and that's why people, you know, are really engaged. You play on your Australianisms, you play on your character. So maybe it's about dialogue. So I've got like speech. So there's this idea of speech bubbles, and, you know, maybe like we could craft your own typeface, JaWoodle in its own typeface. So, you know, we could play around with this talking mouth, you know, and it's you sort of, you know,
That's a perfect characterization of everything I am. That's just me. It's
exactly
perfect.
So, you know,
that should be the logo. Just
Exactly. We could, like, your intro sequences, maybe we could record you saying things like Bonzame, you know, like you say things and we can animate the mouth to do it. And like, there's loads of fun things, you know, like PewDiePie. His thing was the fist pump, right?
Yep.
If PewDiePie's image was the fist pump, yours is going to be like a mouth, like a mouth. Now, that's just one idea, and I'm just curious, like, what do you think of that sort of line of thought? I mean, obviously, you wanted something slick, and we can tweak that, and we can tailor that. The aesthetic can be tailored, but the core idea. What do you think about that idea of like the speech, the bubble, and, you know, the typography mouth, talking mouth?
No, I like it. It's very true that one of all the hate comments I get, the underlying factor in all of them is that I talk too much, which apparently means these people don't realize that editing exists. And I do stop talking. I just edit the dead air out because no one likes to watch someone sitting still in a chair doing nothing. Yeah. So like, I do talk a lot and I express my thoughts, kind of like the run on thought, thinking out loud kind of thing. I definitely do that. So it's apt, it's applicable.
Cool. And thinking out loud. I love it. That's a really good one. I'm gonna make a note of that. Thinking out loud. You see, that's a really cool territory in itself. Thinking out loud. That's it. Whatever logo we create, it's got to do justice to thinking out loud. I love it. It's because it's you, isn't it?
That actually be the new tagline for my whole channel. Badly thinking out loud.
There you go. See, when we spoke earlier on about straplines, you were like, I ain't got a strapline. What's a strapline? But straplines can be really cool to go with your brands. They remember you. Like, you could have a big bold t-shirt that just said, you know, thinking out loud, you know, that's your thing. Like, or thinking out about, you know, thinking out loud badly or something. That could be like
Oh,
a little.
I like that.
You know what I
like
mean?
that a lot.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, really
New merch coming
embrace.
soon on the JaWoodle store.
Yeah, like if I create like a typeface that go with your logo, you can. Some of your merch could just be slogans and really cool sort of, you know, catchphrases like that. Now we can talk about that later on, but it sounds good, right?
Yeah, well, you know I'm excited about it because you're fogging up my glasses, Gareth. So it's getting me all fizzy.
All right, okay. So that's just one thing that I like to do on the kickoff call, is just talk about some initial ideas. I mean, I might come up with some other concepts, but sometimes when an idea comes out and that I think is really strong, that can lead the way. But we'll see what happens next. So okay. So the process is I'm going to go away now, and I'm going to take this, all what I've said, I'm going to start to unpack it all, and I'm going to start to roll out my process, and I'm going to start to come up with some ideas, and eventually I'll have a presentation for you, and I'll show you all this thinking. So any questions?
No, I came into this not knowing what to expect, and I've come out of this with all sorts of ideas for slogans and merch and banners and ways to poke fun at myself in a way that makes everybody laugh.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. It's going to be very talkative in a very typographic dialogue way. So yeah, if you have any ideas for slogans and things, please, bung them over, because
absolutely,
you know, we can work on this together. You know, if you have any ideas as well, if you have any other ideas after this call, just please be sure to just chuck them over. We'll chat as well on the comms. But yeah, let's think about this. Let's think, and you know, I'll be sending you over some things after the call as well, some other follow-up questions, just as like a debrief after this call. So there you go. So that's it then. I think what I'll do next, I'll crack on, and then I'll get back to you in due course.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a buzz when you're ready. Thanks
for being on the call, mate. It's really good to chat to you, and looking forward to working with you.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. Thanks, Gareth.
So that was the kickoff call I had with my client, and as you can see, that proved to be really important. So I had the design brief, and that highlighted some really important information that I could work with, but as you saw there, that client kickoff call was really awesome, and it yielded some really interesting results. Now I find talking through ideas, talking through the project with the client can just be really spontaneous, and sparks can fly, and really interesting ideas can emerge. And as you saw from that kickoff call, a really interesting idea emerged, which I think I'm probably going to pursue, and which is probably going to heavily inspire and influence the design creative solution that I do on this project. So there you go, guys. There's a client kickoff call example, and that is something that I really recommend you do before starting any project. Now, the kickoff call is part of my step 1 in my design process. If you're interested to learn more about the logo design process I use on this project, you can find out more. I have a pro logo design course over on my GDS channel, which you can watch for free. 44 episodes of quality information. It's my entire logo design process I have been using for over 10 years in my career, and it's what I use today, and it generates quality work every time. So if you're interested to learn more, check the link in the description, and you can go over and watch that and get access to my logo design process. So now I have had the client kickoff call, I'm fully up to speed with the design brief, I know exactly what I'm doing for the project. In the next video, I'm going to be moving on to day 2, where I'm going to be brainstorming. I'm going to take all the information I have acquired in day 1, and I'm going to start to think about some creative concept territories I'm going to base my logo design on going forward. So if you're interested to see what happens in that video, stick around, that'll be coming out next. If you're new to this channel, be sure to like and subscribe. On this channel, I talk about my design process on projects. I'll be doing a lot more of this in future. So if you want to see more videos about design process, be sure to follow this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.